Hello everyone, my name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is a case review for the iPhone 5, and that is the Otterbox Commuter series. Now keep in mind, the Otterbox Commuter series has been used for almost a year. This particular one I have right here was bought back in February of 2014, so it's used for almost a year now. So let's get on to it. So first, let me show you the case. Alright, so this is the case right here. You gotta cut out for, I'll go over that once I put the phone in here, but it's basically a two-piece case. And just for a disclaimer, I do have a crack right there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, one time I was trying to take it off and put it back on, and I already cracked it after or less than a year of use, but I'll talk about that later. So this is basically a two-piece case. So you have your plastic part right here, and then you have a silicone part. Now, what was different from this part compared to the one for the iPhone 4 and 4S, the black one I should say, is that those were very stretchy, and I did used to have one for my iPhone 4, and that was a pain to get on because of how soft the silicone was. Compared to a white one that one of my relatives had with the white silicone and then the blue plastic piece. That was a little bit easier to get on because the material was a little bit harder. And when the previous owner of this iPhone 5 had this case, actually he had one before this one, and that was a blue one, and I put that on for him, and that one was actually easy to put on. And I feel like just with this black material, I don't know what it is. Even though this one right here is a little bit harder, as you can see, I'm stretching it, and it's not as stretchy as compared to the one for the iPhone 4 and 4S. And I don't know. It always seems like the blacks they happen to have a problem with. It reminds me of the Switch Easy capsule rubber for the iPhone 3G, 3GS with the black rubber pieces. But at the same time, for the iPhone 5 and 5S version, they did improve on the silicone piece. But I just feel like I can't remember. So I really can't say anything that on the iPhone 5 and 5S, the black is still harder to put on versus the colored ones. Because the blue one, it's been a while since I've seen that one, and I haven't touched it very often, so I honestly can't say if that one was still a little bit easier to put on, since that was, another color other than black. And anyway, let's get on to it. So we have an iPhone 5 right here, and this will work with the iPhone 5S as well, since they're both the exact same size in terms of the physical form factor. And basically all you have to do is put the rubber piece on first, and I'm going to talk about, as I'm putting this on, like the process. Now, putting this case on, it is not the same as putting the same case on for the iPhone 4 and 4S. First of all, you would start at the top because you got this sleek wake button, and basically you want to try to push these two sides in, but because of this cover material right here, or this piece right here to cover up your lightning connector and your headphone jack, you want to feed those through the hole of the plastic piece before you even try to stick it in there. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing for the headphone jack. Did not have to do this for the 4 or 4S, but the 5 I feel like you kind of had to. Alright, so as you can see, I'm pushing it in. Let me just make sure it's all lined up right here at the top. And I'm pushing it in. There you go. And there's one issue I have right here, and I believe this might have been one of the reasons that caused me to break this in the middle right here. If you take a look, you probably can't see it. I wish I had a flashlight. Oh, you probably can see it a little bit if I put in the light. You can see that rubber piece right there, underneath the speaker. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be under underneath the plastic piece. And then sometimes you have to, the only way you can fix it is if you take it out as I'm doing it right here, and then you want to try to push it in. Alright? Sometimes, actually breaking this piece might have been a little bit easier to put this thing on, but at the same time, it just takes some work. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like to put a lot of pressure when I'm applying cases on, because I feel like you apply too much pressure without thinking it's too much pressure, that you're winding up to break it. And that's what happened to me right here. Alright? And without having to do this, I can get it underneath if I had fingernails. But as you can see, my nail is a little bit too small for that, so I can't really get it on there. So looks like I'm gonna have to take this out like that. And yeah, see, this is one of the most frustrating parts that I don't like. And I don't want to take it off camera because I want you guys to see how I would say the average user would try to fiddle around. I might have to take it off camera, which I don't want to do. Alright, now I'm going to lift it. No. This is one thing I hate. I apologize, guys. I'm taking it off camera so I can see myself. See, I really don't like this part. This is one thing I never liked about the Commuter series, is the process of putting it on, and I just feel like it's a little bit harder with the iPhone 5, and I'm already up on 7 minutes here trying to put this on, but I don't want to like cut it and then come back. Alright, well, I'm going to have to take the whole thing out. It's broken anyway, and eventually I'll have to replace this case, so. Alright, I finally got it in there, as you can see, and now I'm going to cover these up. Alright, so there you go. iPhone 5 and the Otterbox Commuter series. So, as you can see right here, you have a cover for your lightning connector and a cover for your headphone jack, and you have a cover for your volume buttons, as well as a cutout for your vibrate switch. And you have a cover for your sleep-wake button, and the buttons don't feel too bad. It's the sleep-wake button. It's a little bit harder compared to the iPhone 4 and 4S. But the volume buttons are very easy to push. But the sleep-wake button, even though it's a little bit harder, it's not that bad. Alright, so as you can see, cases on the iPhone 5. And it looks good. It looks great. It has a cutout for the Apple logo, and it has a cutout for your camera and LED flash. And yeah, the case looks good on the iPhone 5 and 5S, and it feels great, because for my case, what I would like is both of the rubber material and the plastic piece combined, because number one, it feels great. Number two, you don't have to worry about slipping compared to using a naked iPhone or a naked iOS device, because those are usually very slippery if you don't have any sort of screen guards on it, such as like bodyguards, clear coat, or the Zag Invisible Shield. This feels great, and it looks good, alright? But my only problem with it is the process of putting it on, and that's pretty much it. As you can see, I struggled a lot. I mean, there are certain people who probably could do a lot better than I can, and they may consider me a dumb fool for trying to apply the case the way I did. So now, I don't know if you can notice right here, look at the bottom, and you can see that the bottom corners right here kind of push out a little, and then the top right here, it's kind of like pushed out a little bit versus being straight like this. I don't know if you noticed that. I think that's because this case had some use. Other than that, I wouldn't worry too much about it. And the lightning connectors for the cover, it's not like the iPhone 4 and 4S, because it'd be completely straight. But this, as you can see right here, it's not straight. As you can see, is extending out. And then I was thinking, if I keep opening it and then charging my phone and then taking it out, it's eventually going to wear out. But no, as you can see, it is not straight in with the case. So I don't know if there was an issue with the manufacturing process. Actually, the blue one that the previous owner had that same issue. And now it's the same issue with the black one. So I don't know. There are just some things that you notice with the case, but other than that, it feels great, it looks good, and it provides very good protection. And you got lay on the table design, as you can see right there. So I put my phone on the table, so that way if I get any notifications, any emails or pop-ups, and someone walks by, they won't be able to see it without turning the phone over. If I just have it over like this, then yeah, my notifications will be exposed. But face down like this is fine, and you don't have to worry about your screen scratching. Speaking of the screen, this case came with a screen protector, and the way I see it, any screen protector is better than none at all. Because even though you get hairline scratches very easily on the screen protector, it's not on the screen itself. Alright, as you can see, this is the screen protector that's on the iPhone 5 itself, and I actually applied this one as well. Now, if you notice the cutout, you can see that it's not fully covered. I mean, look at this. They left a lot of space where the earpiece and the front-facing camera is at. And they left a little bit of space at the home button. Now, the iPhone 4, what was different was the whole home button was covered around it, and then they just left a little opening for the proximity sensor, but this is a lot of room. And I still like the Switch Easy Screen Shield better, the one for the iPhone 4 and 4S. I'm not sure how it is on the 5 right now, because it covered everything except for the front-facing camera, the earpiece, but it covered the whole hole for the home button. And this is just personal preference for me. I would just prefer the whole thing to be covered except for the front-facing camera and the earpiece, and I want the screen protector to surround the whole home button. For me, this just doesn't look great in my opinion, but it's still a good screen shield. It protects your phone or your screen from scratches, so it does its job. And as far as the cutout on the edges, it does not line up on the edge of the glass, as you can see right there on the left side, looking at the bottom right here. See that? And then looking at it at the top. So yeah, these screen protectors, I was not too crazy about it, and it actually made it a little bit challenging to put on the phone itself, because I'm so used to peeling off the first side, and it just goes, it peels like straight to the other side, or to the opposite side. Now with this, when you're peeling off the first side, you got it peeling at the first side, then it goes down and then comes back up, and but for me that wasn't too good of a process. But then again, I will let you guys know that's just personal preference. You may disagree with me, so it depends on what you like. Now, back to the silicone piece itself. So, it's a little bit harder, and I feel like Otterbox has improved on that a little. I just don't... It's either the cover for the lightning connector or this silicone piece right here that is what killed me. Alright? And plus, there's like a little slit right here between the cutout for the speaker and then the back piece of the plastic piece itself. I don't know if you notice, like, yeah, you can't see it on camera because I don't have good lighting here. You can probably see a little bit, but silicone goes there, and it's not completely smooth. So this is one thing I noticed. Look at here. It has like these little spots right here on the silicone piece itself. The iPhone 4 4S version didn't have that. Alright, and then here's the top. By the vibrate switch, it's got a little bit. I'm assuming that's supposed to be for shot protection. So at least you got like some good protection right there. So on a 1 to 5 scale, what do I rate this case? I give this, I would say, a 4. It looks good, it feels great, it provides good protection for the phone. It prevents your phone from getting scratches, or if you drop it, you're going to be okay. No cracked screens unless you drop it on a rock. But, you know, it's missing that extra point because of the process of putting the case on and taking it off. Mostly putting it on. Now, if you guys remember my Switch Easy Capsule Rebel unboxing video, I did mention that the process of putting this one on, I feel like, as my first impression, was a little bit harder than the iPhone 4 and 4S. But what I come to realize is when I have two-piece cases, what I would like for myself is doing it on the sides versus at the top and the bottom of the device. Because it just made it a little bit easier for me to just, you know, slide the phone in onto one side and then just clip the other side over. Even though, yeah, I got some, you know, dings right here, as you can see right there. But other than that, you know, that's how I feel a two-piece case should be. Now, if there comes a time where I'm going to stop using this one because it's completely damaged and it doesn't look good and I'm just getting tired of it, I probably won't buy another one of these. I'll probably go for a different case, which when that time comes, I'll definitely look for it. But if you guys want to get this case and you currently have an iPhone 5 or you just recently got a 5S, then if you like what you've seen here, go ahead and get the case yourself. I'm not going to knock it off completely. It's just the process of applying that killed me. But other than that, you know, Otterbox, again, has made great products and made a product where if you don't want the Defender series, you can just get something like this. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.